Hi, this is Mrs. Robertson, and today we're going to go over study guide number 1. I'm going to make this video for you, and then you can use it to help you on study guide number 2, which we're going to get later today. Your test is tomorrow, and I know my class is going to do a fabulous job on it. So let's get going. If I go too fast, feel free to put the video on pause so you can look at what I'm doing. You can even, I think, in YouTube, slow them down even some if I'm going too fast. So let's begin. Number 1, identify the solution for each equation from the list. Here, what divided by 5 is 6, class? 30. Very good. And you just circle the number. What plus 8 is going to give you a 20? Which one of those numbers will you circle? Yes, 12. In the next one, 3 times x equals 60. 3 times what is 60? Yes, 20. All right. Now, the next problem. You get 1 point for work, 1 point for the answer, 1 point for the check steps. So these are the steps you have to show on the test. Minus 24, minus 24. That is the inverse operation of addition. Your job is to isolate your variable. So line up your equal sign. You're going to end up with y equals 27. Circle your answer. Then do the check step. Replace y with 27. Is 27 plus 24 equal to 51? Yes, it is. And then put a check mark by your check step. Let's go on to problem number. We're going to go across and do number 3. This says 32 7/10 equals t minus 6 1/10. The inverse operation of subtraction, addition. Add 6 1/10. Add 6 1/10. Cancel. Line up your equal sign. Bring down your variable. Now we are adding 32 7/10 plus 6 1/10. 38 8/10 equals t. Now let's check it. Replace t with 38 8/10 minus 6 1/10. 31, no, 8 minus 6 is 2. 32 7/10, yes it is. Number 4, this says 14 times d equals 224. The inverse operation of multiplication, division. In algebra, you show division with the bar. You're going to end up with d equals 224 divided by 14 and you get 16 for your answer. D equals 16, circle it. Your check step, replace D with 16. So you're going to have 14 times 16 224, that's a match, so you put a check mark. Now let's do number 5. This problem says 75 6/10 equals 4 2/10 times x. To undo multiplying by 4 2/10, you divide both sides by 4 2/10. What is going to equal x? Over here, there's room for me to do my division. The top number goes in the box. The bottom number is the divisor. It goes outside. We have a decimal in the divisor. We have to move it. So you have to move it in the dividend. 42 goes into 75 once. Subtract. Bring down. 42 goes into 336 18 times. So 18 equals x. Now for the check step, you're going to replace x with 18. So you have 4 2/10 times 18. Place value 0. Add your numbers together. 75.6, that matches. Number 6 divided by 21. To undo division, you multiply both sides times 21. 40 times 21 is 840, I believe. Place value 0. Yep, 840 equals T. So now I have to check. Circle the answer. Is 840 divided by 21? Yep, it equals 40. Yes, it does. And the easiest problem on our study guide, x divided by 5 equals 12. To undo division, the inverse is multiplication. You get x equals 60 is 60 divided by 5, 12. Yes, it is. Any questions on how to do these? Do you know how to get points for the work? Circle your answer and the check step. Any questions? Okay, let's go to the back side and do our word problems. Okay, and let's see. It looks like I already have these started, which is fine. In number 8, Levi, I think some classes I change the word boxes to bags, and sometimes I change bags to boxes. So on this one, I changed it to bags. Levi packed 48 bags at the store. This is 22 more than the number of bags he packed. Write and solve an addition equation to find the number of bags Levi had packed. Okay. Variable, you can use any variable, but my variable, I use B, is going to represent bags. So I know the bags plus 22 equals 48. So how many bags had he packed on that other day? Minus 22 minus 22. So you get a point for your variable, a point for the equation, a point for the work, and a point for the answer. He packed 26 bags. Any questions? Okay, in number 9, we have difference means you're going to subtract. The difference between the high and low temperature one day was 15 degrees. The low was 53 degrees. Write and solve a subtraction equation. So we're going to have a subtraction sign to find the high temperature. What are we looking for? High temperature. So my variable represents high temp. Okay? Now, when you're doing difference, do you have the high temperature minus the low temperature or the low temperature minus the high temperature? It's high minus low. So we have H minus the low temperature of 53 equals a difference of 15. Now, what will undo subtracting 53, Carter? What's the opposite of subtraction? Addition. Add 53. Add 53. You've got to show it on both sides. And the high temperature, 68 degrees. Now, go back and check. Does this make sense? Can 68 degrees be the high temperature if the low temperature is 53? Yeah, because 68 is higher than 53, right? If you got a smaller number, you would know, oh, I did that wrong. I have to fix it. Okay, on the next problem, it's about games. And in this one, I have decided the variable was going to be G equals games. So it says, Mr. Morales spent $31.90 on games. Each game cost $1.45. Write and solve an equation to find how many games he paid for in all. Okay, So my variable G equals games. Then you're going to take $1.45 for each game, and you end up spending $31.90. So each game is $1.45. We know, and they're all the same price. We don't know how many games he bought, but we know he spent $31.90. Does everyone have that for your equation? Okay, now to undo multiplication, what do? Divide, divide. Divide by 1.45. Divide by 1.45. Okay, that cancels, and you get the answer of G equals, well, I have already done that over here. $31.90 divided by $1.45. You have to move your decimal point 2, add a 0, and when you divide that, you get 22. 22 games is the answer to that problem. Any questions? Okay, then we're going to go on to number 11. Now, we have question number 11. In this question, there are 192 students that participated in a cleanup event at the park. This is 1/3 of the entire student population. So is the entire student population more than 192 or less than 192? It's more. That's 1/3 of the population. Write and solve an equation to find the number of students at the school. Well, I'm going to use P equals entire population. You can just put population, I'll count that right. Or the number of students at school. You can say P is students or your variable equals students, okay? Now, we know that it's going to equal 192. And that's 1/3 of them. So there are two equations you could write, and I'll count it right. You could say 1/3 times P equals 192, or you could say P divided by 3 equals 192. Both of those I would count right, okay? Now, this one's the easier one to solve. What will undo dividing by 3? Multiply both sides by 3. So the entire number of students at the school is 576 students. P equals 576, okay? Now, when you have a fraction, you multiply both sides by its reciprocal. What does a reciprocal look like? What's the reciprocal of a fraction? It's a fraction flipped, right? Flipped. So here, we're going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 1/3, which is 3/1. And you get P equals 3 times 192 is 576. Any questions? Okay, let's go on to number 12. And we'll have this all done in less than 15 minutes probably. Okay, because I can look at the timer how long it took me to do this quiz or this study guide. So, and you'll have probably 25 to 20 minutes. You can get your study guide done before tomorrow. Here we go. Maya bought pencils for math class. Each pencil is 7 cents. How many pencils did she buy if she spent $4.20 in all? Well, we want to know how many pencils. So I'm going to say P equals pencils. So my equation, how much is each pencil? 7 cents. So 0.07 times P equals $4.20. Does everyone see that? What will undo multiplying by 7 cents? Divide. Divide by 0.07. Kids, if you don't know how to divide, but you show this, You'll get all of your points but one. Yes, you'll get all of your points but one. So P equals, well, $4.20 divided by 0.07, move it to, 7 goes into 42.6, subtract, bring down. You're not going to buy 6 pencils, but 60 pencils. They have 60 pencils. All right. So there we have it. I'm going to post this in your Google Classroom so you can watch the video. If you get stuck on a problem, you'll be able to figure it out by finding something similar and doing what I did on this video. Are there any questions? Okay.